You know, yesterday we started talking about transparency and the fact that all of the governmental agencies, I don't care where they are, whether it's the school board, Clark County School Board, or any of the school board, they circle the wagons every time that you want some information. And they just wear you out. And they figure that if they can go long enough that you'll finally give up. Why do we put up with that? And what changes are we going to make? And what changes would you specifically make in your office?
Well, for starters, we now have computers. We can do a lot more. We can put more online. They're a great mechanism for getting out information. Somebody should be able to go onto the Treasurer's website, click on the website, and find out any of the information that they need to know about the Treasurer's office, or the state government for that matter. One of the things that I wanted to do as controller that we didn't get accomplished, but I can do as treasurer, I think, is to put the checkbook for the state online. What I mean there is let's put out all the checks, not private information, not social security numbers or anything like that, but let's put out the information and make it searchable.
Now let me ask you a question. So at the moment, there's no prohibition on you putting that out, and there's nothing that mandates that you put it out. So whoever's in that office decides, I'm going to be forthcoming and give all this information out, or I'm not going to.
Yes, that's correct. And it doesn't cost the state that much money to do it. I actually looked into it. The state of Missouri has the same accounting system that we do in Nevada. For about $250,000 to $300,000, we can put it all online. Now, somebody says, well, we're in a budget crunch. We can't afford something like that. Well, the return is multi millions of dollars. Texas, for instance, saved $9 million almost immediately by things that were identified. And the thing I like about it, right now we have auditors in the Legislative Council Bureau, we have auditors in the internal audit. That's roughly 20 some people, 25 people, looking at the entire state government and doing the audits on an internal basis. Well, if we put the checks online, we suddenly have 1,000 people doing audits for the state. They're looking at somebody. They can look at it and they say, hey, well, my friend doesn't own that company, or what's he doing owning that company, or I've heard this. Just you get a lot more people looking at the information, and you can ferret out a lot of problems potentially. And if you look at how much fraud have we detected with the billions of dollars that go through the state, how much fraud have we actually detected? One of the things that I do as a fraud investigator, I've done work for the SEC, I've done work for a lot of government entities, and the fraud has to be there. You cannot tell me it's not with the amount of money that goes through the state.
I've always been surprised that how poor a job our government does in enlisting the aid of the public, because most of the public is not out there just to gripe about everything. They'd really like to help. And we don't seem to learn that very easily, do we? Because that seems to run throughout government everywhere. Local, state, federal, everything.
It does, because no one wants to admit maybe they made a mistake. They don't want to put the information out there in the first place, because then they'll have the finger pointed at them and said, why did you do this? Well, you're in public office. You need to be able to accept the responsibility for your actions. The time that I spent as a Marine Corps lieutenant and up, from enlisted man all the way to major, I was a company commander, I was a operations officer, battalion executive officer. If you made a mistake, you admitted you made the mistake. You don't try and hide it.
Well, we don't have enough of that in government where they admit it and don't try to hide it. Steve, thanks very much for being here this week. I've learned an awful lot from you, and I wish you good luck.
Thank you very much,
Thank
and
you,
I
buddy.
appreciate it.
You bet.